Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. So this is a members live stream exclusive. Well, not really exclusive, but yeah, you guys are seeing this first. You guys are actually seeing this live, and everybody else that sees this afterwards will see this when I release it for everybody else. But the question is, Visible has gone downhill. I'm hearing a lot of this on Reddit and several places. People are talking about that Visible has gone downhill. It's gone bad. It's like a fruit that used to taste good, but now it's like it's rotten and bland. And I don't want to address that. Basically, because obviously there's some factors that people are not considering when it comes to Visible. First of all, it's prepaid, right? So, I'm seeing people kind of like do this thing that I call like misleading. They're misleading people. They're starting off with this, I left Verizon postpaid for Visible and I couldn't be happier. And so it's making people think like, okay, well, Visible is like $40 a month flat rate for unlimited talk, text, and data and unlimited mobile hotspot. It would make sense to make the switch if it's, on Verizon's network. It would make sense to switch. So people are going to end up doing it, not realizing that priority access for Visible is way different than postpaid. That plays a major factor in it. And so I kind of wanted to go a little bit over Visible. Let's see what's new with them too while we talk about this whole Visible has gone downhill type thing. Because in my opinion, Visible has not really gone downhill, if people want to be quite honest about it. Of course, there's some subtle changes. For instance, 5G connectivity has opened up on more devices with Visible, and people are kind of just frustrated with the 5G connectivity speeds that they get, not realizing that it is going to be capped at 200 megabits per second. So pretty much what you were getting on LTE before, you're pretty much getting the same thing now. And that's a very big thing that some people are pointing out that for me, I won't disagree with them on it, right? The only thing that I would say in defense for Visible is, yes, while download speeds on Visible's 5G is capped at 200 megabits per second. And then you're like, so what's the point? Well, they're not charging you additional for 5G connectivity. They could be like $40 flat rate for unlimited talk, text, and data and unlimited mobile hotspot, or $50 a month for unlimited 5G access, talk, text, and mobile hotspot. They could do that, but they're not. So because it's capped at 200 megabits per second, does that mean that it's total garbage? To be honest, in a logical sense, no, it's not. It's not garbage. Reason why I say that is because they're not charging you additional for it. If you have 5G access, you have 5G access. If you don't, you don't. But it doesn't mean that because it's capped at 200 megabits per second, it's garbage. And from what we've learned from Visible's past is that Visible tends to cap data as they're beta testing things going forward, and eventually will uncap them. They capped their service when they first started, and it was capped, I believe, at like 10 megabits per second on the download for the longest time. And it wasn't until I connected with their PR and did some videos about Visible is when they actually uncapped it. And I myself and several other YouTubers that were under embargo had the embargo lifted, and we could talk about it. And yeah, and they said that it was uncapped. They could possibly recap it, but they weren't sure if they were going to do that. And ever since then, I've never heard anything about them recapping the data up until 5G. As when 5G started to become a thing on Visible, that's when we started to see, okay, well, 5G speeds on the download side would be capped at 200 megabits per second, but the uplink would be uncapped. And you also have to think too that the 5G that you're getting with Visible access is DSS. So again, from a lot of my friends, DSS is not like the absolute best, but the 5G connection will get better over time. Now, big question that people ask is that, can you access millimeter wave on Visible? And I personally can't tell you that you can, because I don't. I mean, I do have my Pixel 5. It does have access to millimeter wave, but there is no, or at least there isn't places that I know of that have millimeter wave access here in Phoenix, maybe in Tempe, but I haven't gone to those areas that my friends have gone to speed test Visible there. And even then, you wouldn't get those speeds anyways, because apparently you're capped at 200 megabits per second. So the cap is really what's holding back as far as like getting super fast high speeds on Visible. It blocks that. But it's not to say that it's something that's going to last forever. It's not something that's going to last forever. It's not something that's going to be, for like the infinite time. One interesting fact is that some people will say that, because Verizon's moving away from 3G, because Verizon's trying to be very, very, like they're trying to put down the 3G and be dependent on basically their ultra wideband 5G and LTE as a backup support to that in areas that doesn't have ultra wideband millimeter wave access. They've looked at Visible was like a beta test for that. Can Verizon handle just being on LTE and 5G without the need of 3G? That is some of the things that people talked about. I can't really tell you that that's definitely what Visible is here to do. The only thing I can say is that Visible is a very different, unorthodox prepaid company, which I kind of have an attraction to, right? Like it's the same thing that I gave Google Fi a chance, and I'm consistently going back to Google Fi. I leave them for a while, I go back to them. I always end up going back to them, and it's because they're a little bit different of a prepaid. I mean, now they're almost similar to most prepaids out there offering unlimited, but it's kind of pricey with Google Fi. For reasons I can understand, but you still have that flexibility with their Fi Flex plans. And Visible is a little bit different. The ones that I say that we're daring to do things a little bit differently: $40 flat rate, unlimited talk, text, unlimited data, and unlimited hotspot. Now, right now, currently the hotspot is capped at 5 megabits per second. But then again, when you're using mobile hotspot, the intentions of using mobile hotspot, you're on the go, you have a laptop or a Chromebook or something like that, you need to access emails or send emails or, send some documents or whatnot. You have the ability to do that with the hotspot. I know that the trend is that people will take their mobile hotspot on their smartphone device and use it for home internet, running online gameplay on it, watching Netflix, HBO Max, and stuff like that. And while it can work in functionality for that, it was never intended to be that. That's something that you will never change. You will never change the intentions of what it was supposed to be. You can only do what you intend to do with it, and that's fine. No one's knocking anyone or saying anyone is wrong for that. But at the end of the day, technically, mobile hotspot was really only meant to be from a smartphone standard, just to get you online to do minimum things, and not everything heavily extensive like watching a movie in 4K on Netflix or HBO Max or whatever you're watching it on. So the hotspot is capped at 5 megabits per second, but there is no limitations to it. When comparing to other prepaid companies, they always give you hotspot, but there's a limitation to it. 12 gigabytes of hotspot, 15 gigabytes of hotspot, 20 gigabytes of hotspot, 30 gigs of hotspot. And that's all you get. You use that. Now, some of them will go a step beyond and say, well, it is unlimited hotspot because you're getting like 35 gigs of 4G LTE for hotspot use. But once you pass that, then you're throttled to 2G speeds, which is 128 kilobits per second. And that's where they say that it's unlimited, because they don't cut you off from using the hotspot. The data from hotspot is still parable to your devices that you connect to it. It's just throttled. The speeds are throttled down to be slower. And Visible is the one that steps away from that type of standard and just says you'll get 4G LTE speeds. The download will be capped at 5 megabits per second. And that's that. Can you still stream with 5 megabits per second? Yes, you absolutely can. You can watch YouTube and stuff like that if you needed to, if you have to. But, you can still, get online, send emails. You can still send documents online. You can still download documents online. It's still there. There's no throttle point. There's no cap point. It's unlimited. So they kind of stepped away from what most prepaid companies were doing. Like, they're always trying to think outside the box, going away from what prepaid companies are doing. And here's one of the most recent ones here that they're doing right now. This almost seems like that they're competing with Google Fi in this sense. You think about it, Visible for 3 months, 3 months of unlimited data for just $20 per month. So there's never been a better time to join Visible. Sign up by April 30th, and you'll score 3 months of unlimited data, messages, and minutes powered by Verizon for only $20 a month. You use the code 243 to save. Now, I don't know if this is bondable with Party Pay, but I would say if you link up with Party Pay and you get $15 knocked off, then it would make the bill $5 a month. So that's actually not too bad. So you're getting half off for 3 months, which is pretty much what Google Fi is doing right now. If you sign up for Google Fi, you get 3 months of 50% off on your bill. So you'll be paying $35 a month instead of $70 a month for the next 3 months. But if you have like multiple lines, like I do, I have 2 lines. So I'm actually paying $60 a month instead of paying $120. So that's actually not bad. Tells you what you got to do here. Join Visible, use your code in the cart, activate your service. You can do eSIM activation if you want to. Keep the savings going. After your first 3 months of service for $20 each, your service will increase to $40, but it doesn't have to. And then it tells you how you can pay only $25 a month. And if you bring a friend, you can get a month for $5. So I guess in the first 3 months, any other discount savings won't apply to your bill, is what it sounds like they're saying, because of what they just said, that learn how to keep your bill lower after your promotion of 3 months, for $20 a month ends. So yeah, it only increases by $5 if you've joined a Party Pay, and that Party Pay has more than enough people to have the max discount for every line in that Party Pay. Then your bill will only go up by $5. If you refer people, then your bill will actually drop below $15 than what you're normally paying, because you would only pay $5 for that month because of the referral that you brought into Visible, which a lot more and more people are joining Visible. So finding referrals ain't that easy. It's easier for well-established YouTubers to do it because they have a fan base that follows them. And if they're trying to, try Visible, they would more than likely use the referral code from said YouTuber. And that YouTuber will get their Visible level 5. As for me, I've accumulated a lot of credits from when I started trying Visible for using my referral code that I had back then, coupled with Party Pay right now, makes my bill free every month. And I got a good amount of time left before it's finally all those credits are used up. And then it will only be $25 for me, unless I get referrals again. That makes it only $5 a month. But it again, there's different devices that they have. Of course, they have some of your favorite well-known name brands, like the iPhone 12s. You got the Galaxy S21, S21 Plus. You got the Pixel 5. You got the Moto Edge. You got the 4A 5G, the S20 Fan Edition, OnePlus 8. You got the Pixel 4A, the iPhone SE. You got various different Galaxy mid-rangers here. You got Moto mid-rangers there also too as well. You have the older Apple devices, like the iPhone 11, iPhone 10s, even an iPhone 10 pre-owned, an iPhone 10R pre-owned. You have those that's still available to grab up, and even an iPhone 8. So I'm not saying, well, there's the free swap program is still the Blade A3 Prime from ZTE. Then you got the ZTE Blade A7 Prime. I think that's about it for like ZTE devices. But the Blade X1 5G. Okay, so that's for ZTE, OnePlus 8 for OnePlus, and that's it. The rest of it is Pixel and iPhone and Galaxy S. So, there you have it for like the type of devices that you could use, the type of devices that's available for you. That is that. When it comes to network connectivity, you know what? Like I tell everybody all the time, your connection is going to be based on 2 factors, okay? Your connection is going to be based on the factor of A, Verizon's network in your town. So if Verizon is phenomenally fast, then you got to look at Visible and say, okay, if Verizon is super duper fast, then Visible is going to be slightly fast because of the priority access level, right? Obviously, postpaid customers are going to get better priority access to Verizon's network, and they're going to be held on a higher priority over someone that has a Visible line. That's what it is. You get what you pay for. If you're going to go prepaid, that is one of the sacrifices about going prepaid. Sure, you're paying a cheaper bill and you're getting unlimited data, But this doesn't just apply to Visible. This applies to every other prepaid company out there, under their umbrella parent network. And that is, if you're prepaid, if you're an MVNO, your priority access is not going to be the same as a postpaid customer of said network provider, right? So T-Mobile postpaid is going to have priority access for their postpaid customers on their network that is going to be on a higher standard compared to someone on Metro by T-Mobile or on Google Fi or on any other MVNO that uses T-Mobile, like Mint Mobile, etc. Right? Same thing with Verizon and Verizon Prepaid and Visible. Verizon Prepaid is going to have a little, I'm assuming it's going to have a little higher priority access because it's still flying the Verizon banner. And so they know that if somebody is diehard, not going to sign up postpaid, not going to run their credit for a phone line, they would more than likely still go with Verizon with a Verizon prepaid SIM card. Visible is the one access underneath it. And that's where the priority level is at when it comes to Visible and Verizon and everything like that. So priority access is key. That is going to be the main thing there. However, if you're not someone that's going to be particularly nitpicking at priority access level, and all you really basically do, because I'll say this right now, even for Visible, and like where my apartment is at, my connection is bad. Okay, I will show you guys speed test. Currently connected to Visible's network, and I will run a speed test and show you guys the results. But even just with the results that I get here, I can watch YouTube videos and stuff like that, no problem. Like I don't even rely on my home Wi-Fi with my device. All right, let's see what we get here. Okay, that is my speeds inside my apartment. You see how it kind of went up to 9 and then it dropped down and it popped up and now it's just sitting below about 1 megabit per second. You're probably hearing the feedback of like the radio connection with my device to a cell tower. My microphone's picking that up, that interference. But you see 1.24 on the down. The uplink is about 2.3. I'm going to call it about 2.3, 2.5-ish. Right? So 1.24 on the down, 2.60 on the up. That's not good. A lot of people will look at that and be like, holy crap, that's bad. Okay. And it would be bad if I tried to live stream on YouTube with that. Then yeah, you would definitely see its limitations there. But watching YouTube videos, yeah, it's going to scale it down to about, I would say 480p. At that speed, I've seen YouTube at 480p, sometimes 360, sometimes 240, it really depends. But I'm still able to watch YouTube videos, and most of the time it's in pretty good quality. I wouldn't say it's 720p or it's 1080p or it's 1440p. Majority of the time it's at 480, which is DVD quality, and I'm not nitpicky when it comes to watching videos. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just watching to be entertained. I'm not looking at the pixels. I'm not looking at, directly at like what blemishes I can see on the person's face or their hand or their arm or whatever. I don't care. I'm just watching to be entertained, which is something that, I tend to do watching YouTube videos. And so it's not a big kill for me if it doesn't reach 1440p access when watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's handling pretty well. And a lot of problems that people are reporting with Visible, I'm lucky enough to say that I haven't really had much of those issues at all whatsoever. There are some people who are reporting that their Visible service is completely cut and killed, and they've been trying to, chat with Visible representatives who cannot seem to fix their issues. At least some of them are reporting on Reddit that the customer service rep just disconnected from them because they couldn't figure out why their services weren't working. I'm glad to know that my services is still kicking and going as I'm getting phone calls and text messages on my Pixel 5. I'm actually running a DSDS support. I actually have 2 SIM cards in my Pixel 5. So I have Google Fi on the eSIM, and then I have Visible on the physical SIM. I don't put Visible on the eSIM because I hear a lot of horror stories about eSIM and Visible. So I just don't want to jinx my situation here. So I use physical SIM on Visible and then eSIM for Google Fi. As I've used it before with eSIM, and it works okay. I mean, with physical SIM is much better on Google Fi, but it's not too far off with the eSIM. So, has Visible really gone downhill? The answer to that question, really, in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, so just remember for those, especially when I open this up to go live for everybody else to see, has it really gone downhill? The answer to that question is no. In my opinion, no, it hasn't gone downhill. Okay. I think a lot of people like to cycle through a lot of things. And of course, those people that are doing like speed testings and stuff like that, like there's a placebo effect already in effect for them because they're using postpaid, they're using a lot of prepaids. And I think sometimes maybe like it gets lost in the mix. They're so used to having, postpaid results that when they see prepaid results such as Visible, and they kind of get like, oh, okay, that's bad. Even if comparing like, say, another prepaid carrier such as Total Wireless, which, my friends have told me Total Wireless has the same priority access as Verizon postpaid. And I guess that's the deal that Total Wireless has with Verizon, because you got to remember, it's how much that they pay Verizon per month, not per month, but per year annually to be able to use their network. And, to be quite honest, a lot of people are reporting like Total Wireless has faster speeds compared to Visible. But then, it also depends on your geographic location. Like I tested out Total Wireless here. I still have the SIM card from Total Wireless and tried it. And really, the speeds were just about the same as what I was getting with Visible. I mean, there were some flutter points where it was a little bit faster. I'd say maybe about on the downlink, maybe about 15 to 20 megs faster than Visible, but nothing drastic differently. So like in my apartment where like I showed you guys speed test, if I was getting like 1.23 on the downlink, then Total Wireless at times for that speed would actually maybe be like 8 or 9 megabits per second on the downlink at times, but not every single time. Not every single test I ran those numbers. In places where I was getting like 140 megabits per second on the download with Total Wireless, sometimes it would get like 160. So it wasn't a huge marginal difference. But in some places, it probably will be, because I can't speak for places like San Diego, Los Angeles, Seattle, Dallas and Denver, Las Vegas. I can't speak for those cities because, again, the way the network is built out by said provider, different. The density out there is going to be different. Of course, level access to the newer networks by upgrade is going to be different and timely. So those things play a factor in it. So anyways, yeah, that's just what I wanted to speak on it for, Visible. And obviously to let people know about that right there, the 3 months of unlimited data for just $20 per month if you decide to sign up with Visible and using a promo code that would give you guys $20 per month. So, and that's for the first 3 months. After that, it goes back up to $40 unless you join a party pay. Then it'll be $25 if they have enough people within that party group. But anyways, to those who are members of the channel, I do want to thank you guys for being members of the channel. And just real quick, also want to let people know that the channel membership tiers have changed. I said I was going to do it. I finally got to it today. There's 2 membership tiers. Allow me to explain this to you guys. Or would it be better with visuals? Let me pull this up. Maybe if I show you guys the visuals, then it'll probably make more sense. Hang on. Don't want to give too much of the private information away. Looks like Stetson went live here too at this point, but just give me 1 sec here. Always takes a while for this to load up. Oops, something went wrong. Try again. Here we go. Okay, let's go to memberships. And all right, let me share this. And this is viable information, though, for people that, may be interested in becoming a member of the channel to get access to members only live stream like this. Which this one will actually, I'll free this one up later on for everybody else to see, just because it's a viable information. But anyways, yeah, so shout out to the channel members. These are my current channel members. Gene, I know that you are a channel member, but because I made alterations to it, the tier that you were subscribing to, which was the highest tier, I actually took that one out. So there's not a $5.99 anymore. There's only 2 tiers. Just make it simple and easy for everyone to get into it. So new nerds is 99 cents, and then super nerds is $1.99. And what are the differences? What do you get with them and such? Well, to just kind of clarify that. So here we have it. New nerds basically So you guys, the perks that you guys get, of course, loyalty badges next to your name in the comment in the live chat. You also get access to custom emojis, which, you know, I'll eventually get to, actually putting some cool ones there. You get a badge next to your name and priority in Q&As and AMAs. And you also get members only live stream access. Switching it up to $1.99 for super nerds, you get all those previous level access. You get members only chat. So when I do a live stream and I turn on members only can chat, you will be the only ones that will actually be able to chat in the live stream. Of course, access to the members only live stream, and then exclusive member only videos, which, you know, I'll be vlogging and doing that sort of thing. And so that's the two different tiers. And I'm not gonna be adding any other levels. I just think it's easier this way. You know, $1 per month, $2 per month seems pretty basic, seems, you know, pretty cut dry. And so not a lot for me to have to fiddle with. So yeah, those are the channel memberships. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of update people on that. So yeah, if you want to become a channel member, hit down below. Obviously I do got to make some edits to the banner here, as some people dropped off, and that's fine that they dropped off. Know this, if you cancel your membership with me, like as far as members only, I would not be mad at all. You can always cancel it if you're going through hard times and stuff like that. And if you ever want to come back, I'd be more than appreciative for you coming back. But if you can't, that's totally fine. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to, you know, like, I don't know if people would feel like that I would get mad or anything like that, but I actually wouldn't. You know what? This is just something that it's like, okay, there are things that I will do specifically and exclusively for these members, because you know, for being a member of the channel, basically it's like a sponsorship. You're sponsoring the live stream, you're sponsoring the show, you're sponsoring the videos. So why can't you guys get a little bit of extra perks? You know what I mean? That's what it is. That's really what it all is. You know, sounds weird to be talking about it, but I mean, yeah, definitely. So again, shout out to the channel members for being members and taking a chance on this guy. Anyways, hopefully for the members, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. You guys got 24 hours to enjoy this all to yourself, because this will actually then be published tomorrow for everybody else to listen to. And for everyone else that listen to it, if you guys want to become a member of a channel, just click the join button down below. And that's how you can choose either tier 1 or tier 2. Choose either one that you want to do. And you guys can join that way. Also, if you want to show support by applauding the channel, there's an applaud button down there below. And you can choose the level of applaud that you want to do. We'll really appreciate that. Other than that, guys, I'm going to jam out of here. Happy Friday, Junior. Take it easy, everybody. See you on the next one. Peace.